Welcome once again to Rangers Daft. We're back after the international break. It's our offshoot podcast from Football Daft where we look at everything from the Teddy Bears' point of view. I'm producer John. Let's welcome to the podcast player number 1 and player 456. It's Grado and Stephen.
I'm well the old guy then, ain't I? 'Cause I'm a wee cunt.
I am the guy. I'm the guy on that.
No, Grado, you're the guy that fucking the bird puts her arms on and fucking falls back through the glass.
Aye, the guy with the snake tattoo.
Aye, that's you.
That's you.
I followed him on Instagram last night.
Just in case you don't know what we're talking about Squid Game, I'm sure you're over it. Have you noticed that Big Hugh Keevins is getting compared to player 001 on Twitter? And if you look at him, someone's photoshopped Hugh's face on player number 1.
It's
Uncanny.
a bit uncanny, aye, it is.
It is. So we're here to talk about Rangers versus Hearts, and
Let's just keep talking about Squid Game.
No, let's talk about the football. We'll talk about plenty of Squid Game and Football Daft this week, I'm pretty sure. We don't have pundits. We have our patrons that come on and act as pundits for us. He's been on the podcast before. Welcome, Craig Fryatt. How you doing, Craig?
Very well, John. How's it going?
Not too bad. Now, we kind of got in the habit, because we've spoke to you before on here before. We've said favourite Rangers player, favourite Rangers moment. Who is the worst Rangers player you've seen?
I was at the Peterhead game in the 3rd Division. I'm going with Ian Black.
Ian Black.
Yeah. In fact, that wee bastard Devlin for Hearts on Saturday reminded me of Ian Black. Brought back painful memories.
Oh, Cammy Devlin. He had a good game, actually. We'll get on to that. Ian Black's not a plasterer, am I right in saying that?
He's in Bob Susan now.
Gregor's lost his mic. Stephen's in the midst of, we've talked about it in the podcast throughout the last few weeks. He's in the midst of moving house and he's getting his kitchen ripped out. So apologies if the sound is slightly different this week. But let's get into it, boys. It's been a couple of weeks since we last spoke. International duty, the Rangers players went away. Nathan Patterson had a kind of second half against Israel. He was unbelievable. First half, he was pretty shite. And then again against the lot of criticism against his performance. Oh, sorry, you screwed your face up. It wasn't a great first half, Stephen.
Oh, all right, Ryan.
It was, but the second half he was brilliant. Obviously, setting up the goal and all that as well.
We'll get to this, I will get to
We'll get to that. But any other Rangers players in international duty?
John McLaughlin was in the squad.
John McLaughlin was in the squad. Was any of the? Do you have? Sakala scored, didn't he?
Sakala scored. Kemar Roof scored.
Roof scored as well.
Haji scored a fucking blinder.
There you go. Rangers scoring all over the continent.
Apart from their clubs.
Apart from, well, let's get into it then. 1-1 there on Saturday. Stephen, Grado, you were both at the game, weren't you?
Yeah.
Well, we know Grado was at the game. Now let's talk about Grado's afternoon at the game. First, Norway.
No, I'm getting a bit embarrassed at times. I'm turning up at hospital. I'm getting a bit of a redneck, to be honest with you.
How did you? You're there every week now at hospitality. Is this via your gaffer's husband?
Well, I've just get connections. Just put it like that. And it's not the same person, but it was a good week connection on Saturday.
Right.
Thoroughly enjoyed myself. Watched the game with none other than God sitting right behind me. Brian
Laudrup.
Yeah.
Yes, it was brilliant. Sitting behind him, trying to create small talk, annoying him, pestering him.
What small talk did you create with Brian Laudrup? Did you ask him about his, I think he's launched, is it a gin or a wine? A gin he's launched. Did you ask him about that?
No, I knew that when the half-time whistle went, everybody was going to turn around and try and get a picture of Brian Laudrup. So I thought, this is my chance to get in photos with him.
I love that.
Does it bring it all back? This brings it all back? He's going, sorry. Was it this all bring it back for you, Brian? Yes, great memories. And then I went, well, it's some atmosphere, isn't it? And he went, it's a great atmosphere. I went, puts goosebumps on you, doesn't it?
Grado, please don't tell me like you spoke to him like he was a foreigner, like in that really slow way you would speak to a Spanish waiter.
Look at that wifey feedback, right?
Yeah, mate. They know who you are?
No, I didn't know it was that.
No, I did.
I did. Did you ask him, more importantly, do you find I'm actually working on a Rangers podcast and a football podcast, Brian. Would you like to come on to the show?
He
No,
would never do that. He would.
No, he wouldn't. He wouldn't.
No. It's just because Brian Laudrup's quite. How can I say without
Aloof.
He's like Ric Flair. He's a star. Like
God, I mean, he's God to Rangers supporters. That's it. I mean,
Aye.
you don't talk to God, do you?
exactly like he when he comes out here, he's got a driver taking him about, and he's got minders and all that. And I just thought,
My brother-in-law was at the Laudrup night the night before on the Friday night, and he said, "Oh man," he said the story he told. Do you know he had cancer for 11 years?
Is that right?
11 years. He had cancer for 11 years. And see, when he get diagnosed, the first person to phone him and say, anything you need anywhere in the world, I'll sort it for you. And you'll be looked after, and I'll sort it. Who do you think it was?
Walter Smith.
Correct.
Wow.
Correct.
There you go.
what do you mean I'll sort it for you?
Like, obviously, if you're going to have to get treatment in America, you're going to need to pay for it.
All right.
He's got contacts everywhere, Walter Smith, apparently.
Right.
I'll sort it for you.
All right. That's
Aye.
clever.
Oh, that's really classy. Really classy. But it wasn't about Brian Laudrup. It was about Rangers versus Hearts on Saturday.
Oh.
I know we're going to have to talk about it, and I hear by the groans you weren't happy. Tab was the only change from the last game, back in for Patterson. Let's get to it then, boys. Craig, let's come to you first on this. Were you at the game, Craig? Did you see Brian Laudrup? Did you get your picture with Laudrup and Grado at half-time?
No, I couldn't make it due to an incident with a tractor.
Oh, wait, well, do you know what you should do, Craig, and I hope you did do this, is you should have got onto G4 claims, because they not at fault claims make it easy.
Make it easy for you.
I'm engaged with Nicole in the team right now as we speak.
Fantastic.
Because Craig, you'll find that they don't cold call and they don't buy data, and they will not take on your job if they don't think you've got a case.
The best of it is, Craig, what's he saying?
Charlie Nicholson.
They'll replace it with a courtesy car.
Like for like vehicle.
For like vehicle, there you go.
It's arriving tomorrow, so I'll be down the road for Thursday.
Fantastic. Well, good to see you getting sorted there, Craig. But what did you make of the game? Was it better than your tractor crash?
Marginally.
Right. Okay.
But it's just endemic of this season and the final third. We're not taking our chances. To be honest, Hearts get lucky. Lucky at, we don't take our chances at their end, and a very uncharacteristic error by Alan McGregor at the end. But before that, he's made a couple of saves as well. So it is what it is. No damage done, and we move on. Still 4 points clear.
We move on. There it is, the next one. We move on. Grado, you were obviously at the game in the company of Brian. What did Brian make of the game, Grado? What was his analysis of the game when you did your small talk at half time?
Who was it he was talking about at half time? Was he talking, or was it full time? He was somebody he kept raving about. I think it was when Roof came on. He was raving about Roof. I mean, he was speaking in the Danish language to his boy. So I could tell it was Roof. But
Maybe he's doing an impression of my dog.
He might have been fucking absolutely panning Roof.
He could have been. But obviously, in front of me as well was the Hearts. The Hearts set up. They were in front of me, so that wasn't ideal when that last minute goal went in and Gary Locke's jumping about Daft in front of me, man.
I'd fucking Jim Jeffries boy, man.
Is that who that is?
No, I used to take him everywhere, didn't he?
Aye, so I was a bit gutted Anne Budge wasn't there. I know, man. I thought I was going to bump into her, man. I feel as if Anne Budge would watch Two Doors Down.
She does look like a type, doesn't she?
I think so. I was getting all G'd up to go, all right. I can just imagine her like sitting where like Chris and Dips watching Two Doors Down with supper's on and that.
Aye. Yeah, we bought a wee glass of red wine in her hand.
See where you're coming from there, man. I can see that. Aye.
It's a bit like, do you know how she'd watch River City or not?
Aye, mate. I get where you're coming from, actually. Aye.
It was in the mid for a couple of wee blatherware, but that didn't happen. But anyway, the game, I was the first half. I thought we played brilliant. We were dead energetic. We looked as if we were playing a bit. I wasn't saying it was a change. Getting in at half time 1-0 up and feeling a wee bit kind of comfortable. Felt comfortable. But then the second half was just that completely different story, wasn't it? Completely different story. We just need to finish games. Very, very frustrating. Very frustrating. Was annoyed that even at the time, and I'm not just saying this in hindsight, but I thought the decision to bring on Bacuna was a bit bizarre. And Morelos just another off day, which is happening quite a lot this season, but gutted with that. I think he had 2 great chances. So frustrating, but as we say, we move on. But the 6-point cushion was a lot better than a 4-point cushion, put it that way.
Well, that's it. Stephen, was that the best first half Rangers have played in the league this season? That seemed a lot of people seem to think so.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's it, aye.
And that's it. But yeah, that's a detailed analysis there from Stephen.
I just think it's becoming, I don't know, it's so apparent, man. There's something no right. We can't string 90 minutes together. Every time I take my boy to a game, we fucking draw 1 each. It's them or nothing.
I know this sounds. I'm trying to, because there's nothing worse than a sucker punch goal right at the end, man. It just.
But we all saw it coming, mate. It was coming. We all saw it. We knew it was coming. You knew they were going to score. Everybody in their granny in that stadium was saying the same thing.
What was the problem then? Did Rangers just let Hearts grow into the game?
Hey, what can you? Aye, well, Grado was right. The first half was very reminiscent of how we played football last season. High intensity, high press, moving the ball quick, creating chance after chance, bargain, fucking double save for Craig Gordon. Morelos had 2, but then the second half, you're going like that. We come out, the more the game's going on, for about 65 minutes onwards, we just invite Hearts on us. We invite Hearts on. But then, what can you do when you're fucking centre forward who looks like he can't fucking string 2 passes together anyway? Now I mean, fucking tap the ball in for 2 yards. Where else is Roof going to put that ball? That's the only place he can put it. And Morelos fucking misses it. And then they got the park. And as Craig said, uncharacteristic. I'm not going to slag the man because he saves his umpteen times, McGregor. Very uncharacteristic. But how Morelos stayed on that pitch is fucking beyond me. And you take off Hadji, you take off Aribo, 2 guys with a guile to unlock a defence, and you bring on Bacuna and Davis come on. He looked a bit lethargic, and Morelos stayed on the pitch, and I don't fucking understand it.
What do you think's happening with Alfredo? What's going on there? I mean, because all you can see in front, if you're not cashed in at the right time, because I mean, his price is.
Aye, we've missed it now, mate. We've missed it. You're not getting anywhere. The season before last, no last season, the season before that was the fucking. He'll never play football like that again in his life. That was him. That's when we maybe, in hindsight, should have cashed in, but. You're getting nowhere near that now because he's not the same player. His link-up play, his instincts in the penalty area. He's just, I mean, for a fucking centre-forward at Rangers, the amount of chance we made, he scored 2 goals in the league this season. It's ridiculous.
Yeah. Talking of goals, John Lundstrom scoring his first league goal. Great strike. By all accounts, got the stadium man of the match. By all accounts, best player in the park. You agree?
Best player in the park for us the last 2 or 3 games. Aye.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he's really making that midfield spot his own, man. He's fucking, he's getting into 50-50s. Remember that 50-50 into Grado, right through the cunt, won the ball. And then at one point in the second half, there was absolute fucking zero movement in front of him. So he just took the ball right across the pitch. They got around. It's like
the whole stadium got up and clapped.
Plus,
ran diagonally up, down.
Just took it himself, and then he's like, as if, and then his interview after it was bang on as well, man. It was brilliant. He said, you can take positives when you look at that first half display, and he just stood there and went, no. He's like, no positives for that game at all. You see, he's really grown into a Rangers player, and some of the other players when about him should be fucking embarrassed, honestly.
Wasn't that bad a performance, was it, Stephen?
Second half was, mate. We still created chances, but mate, it's not, mate, the thing is, right, you're 1-0 up against Hearts, top of the league, right? Top of the league. Celtic supposedly are fucking going through a transitional period, and we should be putting them to bed. See the amount of games they've lost for us only to be 4 points ahead of them. It's ridiculous. And we can't keep going like this because see if that game was at Tynecastle, we'd have lost that game probably. The way we fucking invited Hearts on us. Do you know what I mean? We just I've got no confidence in now when we go to play a team because you just don't know. We can't string 90 minutes together. We can't. We're conceding goals all the time.
We talked about it there, Craig. Big criticism over Gerrard's use of subs. What should he have done better?
think he justified the Aribo substitution because before that sub, Mackay ghosted pass, Aribo's on a booking. He couldn't put a tackle in for risk of being sent off, so that justifies him coming off. Sakala to come on. Don't know. I mean, Alfie still does a ton of work outside the box, but that was not his day at all. He's evolved as a player, and his numbers don't reflect his overall team contribution because he's almost moved to like a false nine, which is what the manager's wanting him to do. But the front three just isn't gelling at the minute. We're missing Kent's energy. I'd even say in the midfield, we're missing Arfield's energy.
See that game on Saturday, that was crying out for an Arfield to come on at one point.
There's points. Yeah, I've been at almost every game this season. There's been points where Kamara gets into the final third and he stops, and then it's like a backwards pass where you're needing like someone more direct, like Arfie, that'll give you that goal threat from the midfield. If that makes sense. I mean, it's getting the players to do all the jobs correctly. You need the tidiness of Kamara, yeah. You need the organisational skills that a Davis would give you, but we've got to manage Davis's game time. You know, Arfield and obviously Jack haven't featured too much. Bringing Davis on, I thought, was the right thing to do. It's almost like what we do last season with Zungu to see the game out. You know, in terms of what we'd have done last season, we'd have probably brought Itten on. We're also suffering that we're getting 2 less substitutions this year than what we used last year. So we're asking for more minutes from the team. So there's bits and bobs. Overall, I don't think you can say the substitutions were incorrect, because what were our other options apart from the goalkeeper? It'd be either the fullbacks or Sakala that were left on the bench.
I just think if you want to put the game to bed, you don't take after 2 most creative players on the park. I think the substitutions really fucking just totally made the team so disjointed and flipped the game for us. Really, I think the substitutions were so wrong. And I know what you're saying about Alfie, mate. I've backed Alfie up, but see what you're talking about his work off the ball now. And I know he's a false 9, but mate, he can't even hold a ball up against John Souttar. He didn't have a sniff. And I don't think I've not seen a performance for him once this season. I've not.
Is anybody else getting a bit frustrated? But right, we look at compared to last season, right? So we bring on Bakuna compared to, I'm saying Arfield, right? We bring on Arfield.
Bakuna puts 2 balls through.
Itten's no there. We've got Sakala. He wasn't involved on at the weekend. If you're to bring on another centre half, are we going to bring on Jack Simpson instead of Katic? I think there's been mega mistakes made about who we've brought in and to try and strengthen the team. I don't think we've strengthened at all.
Oh, mate, we've no, and the reason we've no strengthened, it was a massive gamble for us to assume we were going to get to the Champions League. That's how we've no strengthened. See what you're seeing now. The players we've brought in and the way our squad is now. The players that we've brought in don't strengthen us, and we're in that situation now. That's the definition of not getting to the Champions League.
Yeah, I mean, obviously not making the Champions League. It was like, do you take the gamble to get into the Champions League and get the money? It was one of those ones that you kind of.
And mate, do you know what? Gerrard has been backed. Like when he first came, you look at the money he has spent, but there comes a point now where our board need to go, well, we need to either A, get into the Champions League, or B, sell some of these players for a big profit. And see your Morelos, he's not going to go for anywhere near the numbers that were getting banned about 2 seasons ago. And see, not getting into the Champions League. That is the reality now. Your Sakaras, your fucking, who else? Your Bacunas, that's the reality of not getting into the Champions League.
But I wasn't meaning that in terms of, we should have been backed. I just mean it's frustrating that compared to last year, we've supposedly strengthened and we've got the likes of Bakala and we do call them Bakuna and Sakala. Is that really any better to what we actually had?
No, I don't think so, mate. I don't think so.
I'm not getting.
If you look at it from last year, you're saying you're looking at one of the centre midfielders. So you replaced Zungu, who's a loan signing, with Bakuna. You're replacing an option at the front line, which would have been Greg Stewart or Defoe, with Sakala, who scored 14, 16 goals in Belgium. So it's not a bad return. You're right when you say we need to make a sale, but we can only make a sale if a bid comes in. And the only bid that we had that we're led to believe was Patterson. And you're certainly no selling him for those.
Yeah, Leo. I mean, Leo came in for Morelos. If rumours be had for 14 million come down.
Yeah, but that was 2 summers ago. You know, if we sold Morelos last at that point, do we win 55? I personally don't think so. No. You know, we didn't have any. No one came in for him. It was it's been a shit summer for us for a number of reasons. I think
a lot of the injuries, we've had a lot of stop starts, we've had a lot of injuries, and I hate using injuries as an excuse, but really Hillander's a big blow, Kent's a big blow, still not having Ryan Jack back. We've been rotating the keepers a bit, which I don't like as well. I'm not a fan of that. So we've had a bit of a kind of stop start. When you look at last season when we went to that tournament in France, that back 5 effectively, McGregor and the 4, that was it. We chopped and changed Bag and Hillander a wee bit, but it more or less was a fucking, you had a good spine. And right for that tournament in France, you seen that. Do you know what I mean? When we won that tournament, then we didn't concede. We hardly conceded goals, but now it just looks like, I think we look so fucking suspect anytime a set piece comes into the box.
Barisic is still playing with that knock that he picked up in the final firm game. Tav, we're asking a lot from some of these players to hit the levels they hit last season. You know, that was an anomaly in terms of,
especially somebody like Tav, the numbers he created, man, last season. Do you know what I mean?
I'll be perfectly honest. Tav's the captain, but I'd have Patterson in before him, on current form.
That's what a lot of people are saying. That I know. It just looked like he was absolutely terrified to cross off Ellen on Saturday.
Yeah, we need to get back to these little compartments of the team that were working so well for us. You know, so you're looking at where the right hand side is working. I'd say we've probably had to over-rotate the squad more than we'd like to. And the new signings haven't had the chance to gel in. You know, previously we'd be starting our season in, you know, late June, pretty much, for European qualifiers against lesser teams, building up a wee pre-season tournament. We didn't have that because of Euros. We've had COVID, we've had injuries, but we're still 4 points clear at the top of the league, and we just need to. That's it.
This time last season we were 4 points ahead of Celtic. This time last season,
you're only 1 point clear at the top of the league, Craig. You're only 1 point clear at 1 point clear at the top of the league, mate.
Oh, they'll fall away. Don't worry about
well, let's get into that. I mean, Hearts. I mean, they've taken points. They've taken 3 points off Celtic now. They're taking a point away from Ibrox. Can Hearts challenge? I mean, because when you look at the squad they've got assembled there, I mean, we all talked at the start of the season about Aberdeen. But see, when you see that Hearts, when you see Barry Mackay, Gary Mackay, Stephen, the Kingsley boy they've got from Everton midfield who looks like a right good player, and then you've got like the boys up front as well, like Boyce up front. Can Hearts offer a challenge to Rangers and Celtic this season, or do you think, like Craig says, that they're going to just fall away come Christmas?
I think I look at them, man. I go, a very, very well drilled team, man. They're fucking big. They're big, man. They're all really tall boys. I think they've got a very, very high chance of finishing third or fourth, if I'm being realistic.
Yeah. No, but not go the challenge all the way, Stephen. No. Wait, I mean, you wouldn't want to go to Tynecastle at this point with Rangers, though, would you?
I don't want to fucking go to Shelton Juniors,
I mean, so what needs to change for next week then? We've obviously got the European game. We'll get into that in a minute. But going back to the league, Stephen, we talked about the start of the season. Rangers had 2 teams there, you know, and the team that your secondary team should be able to go into that league and win, especially when it's at Ibrox, shouldn't it?
What, this next week?
No. I'm just talking in general. When we talk about a player, you've got a player.
Mate. I'll hold my hands up at the start of the season. I said we've got 2 players for every position. We've got strength and depth. It's not turned out that way because players your first choice players like Tav, Morelos, they're no fucking firing on all cylinders.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? So, I don't know. I mean, do you give Patterson a chance? Do you throw him in? We should have enough players. We should have enough quality in that team to go and take care of teams. But it's not.
Does Morelos get dropped then? Do you think?
I would drop him the now. But
Get Roof in there and give him a good run in the side.
But here's my thing: he's an enigma at times. Because see, when he's not playing well, and he's in the team. See, when you take him out of that team, I don't think we've got another player that can play that false 9 position.
Do you know, like Roof can do that?
No, really, mate. He's not really a hard up player. Fucking have a physical battle with a fucking centre half. Usually, nah, I don't know.
Defoe do you bring Defoe out and back in? And
That's what when Craig was saying there, I'm going, there's another name that was named Saturday, and I know he's 39-year-old, but again, somebody like Defoe. I mean, if he replaced Morelos and that's Roof playing that ball into Defoe,
it's in the back of the net. You're right, Grado. You're absolutely right.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And I just think it's just frustrating. I know we seen it all coming that they were going to equalise. However, if that mistake doesn't happen, we win 1-0, good first half, bad second half. We'd be on this podcast this week going 6 points clear, giving it. We just need to, we'd be giving it all that winning ugly and all that kind of carry on. So it's just the way football is, isn't it?
4 points clear, Grado. 4 points clear. You're just focusing on Celtic here. After the game, Gerrard says we've had, I don't know how many chances, 20, 25 chances, but we haven't been ruthless enough and we paid it at the end. The first half performance will take us where we want to get to. The game is about both boxes. At 1-0, we had 4 or 5, 6 chances. We've almost stitched Griggsy up. The headlines will be Alan McGregor should have dealt with the cross, but I think we've stitched them up today because we should have scored the second, third and fourth going on to kill the game before that moment comes. No arguments here, I take it.
I agree 100% what you're saying, aye.
Yeah. So, right, okay. I'm guessing our Rangers Daft rated all round is going to be John Lundstrom.
Aye.
Yes.
I'm going to assume from the chat that the Rangers Daft is Morelos.
Yes.
I would say.
Craig.
Yeah.
You said, go on, give us another name because you're hesitating there.
I'm just. Yeah, you've got to say Morelos because of the chances. I mean, like I said, I'm still not overly impressed with Tav this season at all. Take that St Johnstone goal. And it's, I think Tav's a close second, but that's because it's the high standards from last season.
So, big news this week, obviously, Newcastle takeover went through there.
You were going to say, John?
Well, it's been the story. Do you know what, actually, we did touch on the Hearts game as the Aribo challenge as well. That after the fact that's...
Let's move on to the Rangers news, John. Let's move on to the Rangers news.
Right, okay, we'll move on to the Rangers news and the Aribo challenge, because I'd love to have got your... But no, let's just talk about the Aribo challenge.
Is this the thing you get booked for?
Aye.
Well, they said it was a sending off.
But a lot of people, especially on social media, have took the fucking screenshot and it's his foot's up and they're comparing it to the fucking Brian Porteous one. But you look at both games, Porteous, the way he fucking flew into that, he could have easily just won that ball, but no, he's trying to be a hard man and so I'm going to leave some on him. Aribo's was nothing like it, John.
Porteous wants to sign wee pictures at fan gatherings because
Craig.
That's his ambition. And
remember, we're 1-0 up here. Remember that time I fucking done Joe Aribo and I'm in for the ball. You're like,
cost my team 3 points. And as for the Aribo challenge, well, let's be honest, it's only the second best case of full outrage in the media this week about us.
Aye.
Right, well, we'll get into that as well. So let's talk Newcastle. Straight reports that Steven Gerrard is in the shortlist on with Roberto Martinez and Unai Emery for that Newcastle job. That's Chronicle reporting that down there. I heard Graham Souness warning them off the Newcastle job. I mean, is there a chance that he could leave to go down there? Because Steve Bruce days are he's done. He's done. So,
mate, see if Newcastle came in for Gerrard and go right, you've got an absolute fucking endless pot of cash here to go and fucking build this team and make them compete. Aye, there's a massive chance he'll go. Like, how can you compete with that? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I've heard a few people sort of saying why take that Newcastle kind of, it's almost to be like a transitional job, isn't it? They're almost looking for that transitional manager to like Mark Hughes did at Man City, is build that. And I think the point that's been made is if Steven Gerrard goes there and makes a cock up of it, he wants to be at the Liverpool. He wants that job after Klopp leaves Liverpool. And the way he's going at Rangers, he's got every chance of doing that at the moment. But he goes down to Newcastle, what you say, Stephen, that infinite pot of money, and he makes an arse of that. And let's just say Newcastle do get relegated. I mean, his stock, you look at someone like Frank Lampard, for example, there's like the perfect example of that. His stock
and it's the same as when Rodgers had cash after they sold Suarez and stuff, and he fucked up and came up to sell it because he knew he had to go and rebuild his name again. You know what I mean?
That's exactly it. So does
what do you think, mate? Because obviously you're right interested in this conversation, mate.
Oh, I'm just laughing, right, but I don't.
He's sitting like this, look.
I mean, it's just like, see my mate. See my mate.
Is this something to do with Saturday night, Grado? Right, so let's we'll get off the news and we'll talk the fact that Grado went out after the game with Scott Arfield. And should I out the singer-songwriter that you were out with? Is he out as a Rangers supporter?
Ethan Evans, is he?
Yeah, there he is. So what happened, Grado? Because we did see a video what did reach the WhatsApp chat where Grado very drunkenly sang the Weller Man to Ethan Evans, and the boy just didn't know what
it was. No man.
My mate's just picked up a bill, my mate Fletch, and it says he's got a bill here for £312.
No way.
That's what happens when you go out play with the big boys, Fletch.
No way, man. Grado, you need to transfer him that money, man.
Did you go to that Salt Bay place, Grado, for your tea?
I think he's picked up somebody else's bill.
Aye. Fuck
no, Grado. No, when I saw the table of drinks he put in the WhatsApp chat when you're sitting Grey Goose and all that sitting on the table.
He's like Scott Arfield and Stevie Jukes that. I'll get this one. I'll get it.
Wait, he's played Billy Big Boss. And after the bottle of Grey Gooses went down, I'll get the next one, boys. I'll get the next one. We've all been there.
Aye.
Brilliant. So that's more interesting than the Rangers news. Which is Bill.
Gerrard to Newcastle.
Right, Gerrard to Newcastle. Do you think it will happen or no, Grado?
Well, I mean, it wouldn't surprise me. I mean, it's probably the best job in football to get with all that money. Who wouldn't want to go to that? It's a good fit platoon. I would be gutted, obviously. I'd be gutted, but all that money.
You can't argue with man if he goes. All that cash.
Yeah.
But John Craig.
50-50, isn't it? He goes there, he doesn't.
Nah,
it's the same as what we said about selling players. They've got to make an approach. He's under contract. Yes, they can buy him out his contract.
Aye.
Does he really want it? I think John said it perfectly, the Mark Hughes analogy. And it's how you rebuild your stock. If it doesn't go right, he's already intimated he wants to retire fairly early after his... He wants a Liverpool job and he wants to retire and spend time with his young family. So I think he's going to hold out Liverpool job. It'll be interesting to see who Newcastle go for, but I'd be surprised if Gerrard takes it.
I'd be, do you know what? I'd be surprised. I think Newcastle needs someone that can work the transfer market and had that kind of money to spend. Gerrard's never had that money to spend. You know, it's like a kiddie in a toy shop and you go, I can buy everything.
It's like you used to
Ross with him. You know, I mean that's how football teams work now. You know, it's directors of football and it's the whole infrastructure. And Newcastle need to build that because I mean, crikey, they haven't had that since Keegan dismantled their youth academy 25 years ago. So they've got to build a whole not back room, but back a house. Organisation which they don't have, which we've done very well. Despite Grado's complaints about our summer recruitment.
Smolson, what are you talking about there,
Welcome back to the podcast, Grado.
1, 2, 3, back in the room.
Do you ken him, John?
I know Ross. Hi.
I don't. Last time I was in the director's box, I was in the toilet doing a piss next to Ross Wilson. He's about the same height as me.
Oh, mate, yes, he says, we Ross Wilson, aye. We Ross Wilson, a couple of years below me at school. Falkirk Daft, he is. Falkirk Daft. Let's get on to another bit of news. Crystal Palace apparently looking at Aribo they're monitoring the situation potentially for next summer, according to the Football Insider. Is he a man that could go for decent money? When we were talking about earlier on about players that will go decent money, Patterson obviously probably being one, Kamara another, but he's just signed a new deal. Aribo, could he be a money maker?
I think so. Why?
These players are bought at the end of their contract and take advantage of the cross-border methodology that you get them cheap, you get a couple of years, and then you sell them. But you've got to have someone put a bid in. That's what we haven't experienced yet for the players that were designed under that model. You know, okay, we had elements with Jones and Edmondson, but let's be honest, they were out the bloody door after they went to that party.
Aye.
Yeah, and another bit of news is 6 Celtic and Rangers stars have been made the cut on the World Soccer Impact list. This is a list that's released by 442 every year. The likes of Mbappe, Haaland, all that featuring. Can you guess the Rangers and Celtic players that feature on that list?
Rangers, Hadji.
Not there.
Nah.
3 Rangers players, 3 Celtic players.
Morelos.
Not there. Morelos missed out.
Patterson.
Oh, I seen that. Morelos did miss out. I seen it in the news. Oh, fuck.
Jelovic.
Right.
That's a papatch.
Kamara, Tav and Ken all feature for Rangers,
Yes,
and for Celtic, Kyogo, Callum McGregor and David Turnbull are all on there. Other Scots are on there. Kieran Tierney, Andy Robertson, Billy Gilmore and Ryan Gold all on there. Yeah. So, next game, boys, it's Brondby this Thursday. First of all, what changes do you make? They've come into the back. They've managed a 3-2 win at Belge at the weekend.
You're a good team, or not?
They're a good team, Belge. Same form that you're going into. They've lost 1, drawn 1, won 3 the last 5, same as you guys. What do you think the changes that need to be made? Because it's make or break. You need to win both these games against Brondby, I'm guessing.
We do.
I mean, I don't know about yours, but see, Europe now, it's just...
You sick of it?
We no sick yet, but like, I'm no the way I was...
Because we're fucking bottom of the group.
Remember last season, he's total buzzing for it. And like, total buzzing.
The failure to get the Champions League's just been a kick in the balls.
Aye.
And that's the reality of it. And to be perfectly honest, I couldn't give a shit about it now. I want to win that league. I want the automatic Champions League. And if we didn't make the group stages, maybe first we be in the conference. Okay, we get money. What was it? You win the Scottish Cup, you get 300,000. You win the League Cup, you get 200,000. You win one game of the Europa League, you get 500,000. So yes, there's the financial implications, but I just want the league, and we want that 30 million in the automatic Champions League, and that's
100% agree with
the most important part.
Aye.
But, I mean, there's decent money in the Europe. The maths has been done. I think if you actually go into the European Conference League, there's decent money there as well. So, you know, it's all about the money.
Look at Grado, man.
My blood's gone. I was going, Nathan Evans will be saying to fucking Scott Arfield, right, Nathan, Dafties every week.
312 quid, fuck me. Grado, have you checked your bill yet?
What?
You checked your bill yet?
It's the first thing I done.
Right, it's the first thing you did. You went on your bank. Thank fuck again.
I know, I could guarantee you, it's been Grado sitting going, Troops, I'll get this one.
Oh, wait the fuck.
Why did we get this?
Scotty, hold. I'll get this one. I'll get this one.
Scotty, aye. That's on me, aye. Fletch, come get it, aye.
I'm waiting for a piss, Fletch. Grab back now, mate.
That's down to that Armenian game. I woke up in my hotel and it's like, there's a heap of notes and there's a membership for a casino card. It's like, oh shit.
Oh, fuck.
Check the bank.
All been there. So would you put out a weekend side then on Thursday? Is that what we're saying?
We put out a weekend side because we're still in with a shout, but we're drinking the last chance saloon. You know, I think you're looking at a team. It'll be McGregor, I would imagine. I'd say right back's up for grabs. Goldson and Balogun, because that's really there's no other option. Goldson's another story. This contract thing's not helping matters either. I'd say Barisic. I think Lundstrom keeps his place. Kamara for Europe, definitely. Davis and Lundstrom have to really gel too well together.
I think you play one or the other. You can't play the two together. You can't.
Arfield has to be seen near the team, and you know, I've said I'm not sure how Arfield is after Saturday night with Grado, but
he's fucking steaming after Fletcher's bill anyway.
So we'll leave a midfield slot open. I think you've got to look at Roof, Morelos, and I actually think you play Hadji in the middle three and play Aribo more advanced.
Maybe, mate.
We've been saying that, but Stevie G's forgotten more about football than I'll ever know, so we'll just go with what he wants to do.
So what's the score going to be then, boys?
2-1 Rangers.
2-1 Rangers.
I don't know, man. 1-0 Rangers.
1-0. Craig?
2-0.
Aye. So then it's on to St Mirren Park. What do they call it now? It's no Love. Is it St Mirren?
Fountain of Youth? Or was that Hamilton?
Oh, what's the name of the stadium? It's sponsored, so I can't remember.
Energy? Is it Energy something?
Oh, anyways, Love Street. You're off to Love Street.
Love Street. Let's go.
Love Street. Let's just
it's always going to be Love Street.
It's always going to be Love Street to me. So away to St Mirren Park on Sunday. Obviously, unhappy times there last season with the league in the League Cup. I mean, 2-0 winners there in the league last season. Who scored for Rangers? Can you remember?
Against St Mirren.
Yeah.
Did Roof score one?
Roof got one.
Morelos
got the other, correct. St Mirren, they've been very up and down this season. You see the boy Wolf score at the weekend?
Oh, never.
Belter. Anyway,
it's the Simple Digital Arena.
Grado's time signal here, so to wrap up on the podcast, because he needs to go and pray for Fletch. Is Fletch married, by the way?
It used to be.
Imagine, there's nothing worse than going to the back to the wife and going, when she goes into the joint account, 312 quid down.
I can imagine his missus sitting there with fucking Grado and Scott Arfield and singers thinking you're fucking Billy Big Boss.
If he wants me to fucking text Arfield, but see my mate, he wanted to pay the bill on Saturday night. He doesn't want to pay anymore.
Scott Arfield, if you're listening to this podcast, we know sometimes he does. Hashtag pray for Fletch. Help the boy out, eh? Help the boy out.
Yeah, Arfield's that nice a guy. If you text him that, he'd fucking transfer the money back into fucking Fletch's bank, probably.
So what's the score going to be at St Mirren then? And
it's a tricky game, man. And
1-0. We'll take a 1-0.
Aye.
And we move on.
Move on.
A fucking 2-year Morelos screamer off his arse. 1-0.
I'll take a 1-0, but desperate to horse a team, especially a team like St Mirren. It'd be good to win 3-4-0, but to get us right back on track, I don't see it.
I'll take
3
in.
points. Just 3 points will do.
I can't believe the negativity with you boys. Come on.
John.
You need to be. Have you seen Rangers games, John?
I've seen Falkirk games. Christ, we're now. We got.
Aye, but you are always shouting anyway. You are fucking doomed, man.
Well, that's it for Rangers Daft this week. Thank you very much for listening. Hashtag pray for Fletch is what we're saying. Remember, if you want to be a pundit like Craig, thank you very much, Craig, as ever.
No bother, always a
Aye,
pleasure.
thank you, Craig. Thanks for listening. Thanks for coming on. Thanks for supporting the pod.
Right.
Yeah. But I'm in the director's box on Thursday night. See if I see Scott Arfield. Do you want me to get the money off him, Grado, for Fletch?
Patreon.com/football daft if you want to become a pundit just like Craig.
Yeah, Scotty, it's happening, mate. Yeah, wee Fletch was saying he fucking spent £4 nearly, what he? I've got his short code and account number here, mate.
Brilliant. We'll be back on the headline show this week, Football Daft. Remember, vote on our swanky moment with El Dorado. Currently up for vote. You can vote for Scott McTominay's chest, thigh, or willy. What was the other option? Currently, it's, to be fair, in the lead at the moment is his willy. So you can vote on that on the Twitter, and we'll be back with Chris on Friday. Subscribe, rate and review the podcast. We'd really appreciate that as ever. Until next time though, gentlemen, from Rangers Daft, we are the people.
We are the people.
Audio Frontier.